everyone, today I'm going to be doing a beginner smoky eye tutorial with two lip options. The first option is this one and the second option is this one. So if you want to know how to do this look, then please keep on watching. I'm going to start off with my concealing, and the concealer that I'm using today is actually my concealer palette from Tmart. I had actually forgotten that I had this and I really liked it. Really liked it as well. So I'm going to be using this concealer mixed with a little bit of yellow to just hide my dark circles and other patches that are on my skin. Next up is my foundation, and today I'm using for the first time my Givenchy Skin Tonic Fondant, and this is in the shade Lift Cocoa 512, and I do think that it is one shade darker to what I would have preferred if I was buying my foundation, but we'll see. I'll try to match it as much as I can, and I'm going to use my Real Techniques buffing brush to just apply this all over my face. Right, it is a bit dark for me, but I'm going to try to work it out. And next I'm going to use a Dewy Tree Mineral Air Fix Loose Powder. This doesn't have a shade number as such, but this is just a very light loose powder, so hopefully it would balance my color. And it comes in the sponge applicator form like so. I'm just going to dab it on my skin. Is a bit too powdery for me. I'm just going to take a powder brush and I'm just going to sort of buff this all out. It still looks a little dark. What I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight again. I'm going to use the same concealer, which is a couple of shades lighter to my skin tone. I'm going to highlight just a few points of my face so that it balances the dark shade. concealer on my eyelashes and it is just irritating the shit out of me. But again, this is also a tip for people who have a darker foundation but it's sort of expensive or you can't just give it away. You can use it and then just highlight your face over it so that it balances the dark shade and it just looks like your skin is all, you know, contoured and bronzed to perfection. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take that same powder that we've used earlier. I'm going to open it up so that I have a control over how much powder I want, and I'm going to take my big fat brush and I'm going to dust a lot of powder underneath my eyes. I'll tell you later why we're doing this. Move on to the eyes and we're going to finish off the face later. Starting with the eyes, the first thing I'm going to do are my eyebrows, and for that I'm using my Starlooks eyebrow kit with the help of this Real Techniques brow brush, and I'm going to use the brown shade to just define my eyebrows. You want your starting of the eyebrow to be the lightest and the tail to be the darkest. And you really don't need to go heavy-handed on your eyebrows. Indians are naturally blessed with dark eyebrows. You might have thin eyebrows but your hair would be dark, right? So we're naturally blessed with dark eyebrows, so you want to use a shade which is a couple of shades lighter to your hair, like I am using dark brown. Do not use black. Black can use really heavy and overpowering. Next up, you want to take a brown eyeshadow. I am using Benefit's Soft Shoulder. It's a cool tone brown and it would amazingly complement the Indian skin tone. A lot of people think that you know, only warm colors would suit Indian skin tones, but a cool tone brown is an Indian skin tone's best friend. So I'm just going to take it on this Zoeva Luxe Soft Definer brush. This is really close to MAC 217. It's a really nice brush. I really like it and I really recommend it as well. And the other thing that you want to keep in mind when you're using dark shadows is that once you take a shadow onto your brush, you want to tap the excess off. You saw that color flying away? Tap the excess off, because this color can fall out onto your cheeks and cheekbones and can leave really nasty marks as well. So, and can make you look really untidy and messy too. So yes, you want to take that color and you want to go directly into your crease and blend it upwards or above. I don't know, that came out wrong, right? Transition shade. You need a transition shade because you don't want your eyes to have like just a black layer on, so it looks like you have just a thick kohl layer on. You want to make it look smoky, so it needs to fade away as well. Next, you want to take a kajal because you want a creamy base for a black eyeshadow, because if you have a creamy base on, you would have less fallouts, again more tidier look. So I'm just going to use this Streetwear Colorich Kajal because this does not stay on my waterline, so I'm using this as my eyeliner. So I'm just going to line my upper lid or lash line. You don't want to be neat or anything in it, but you do want to make sure that you stay till your crease area only. So once I have something like that on, I'm just going to blend it all over my lid area. Start of the show. This is my favorite matte black eyeshadow. This is by Inglot in the shade 63. This is a must have for anyone. It would last you a lifetime and this is the perfect matte black shade. And you want to use your black shade with a synthetic tight brush. This is really stiff. If you can see, this is actually a concealer brush, so it's really stiff. So I'm using that and I'm going to apply this black shade all over my lid and again tap off the excess and then just pat it down. Just pat it down like this so that it doesn't have any fallouts or anything of that sorts. Whatever's remaining on your brush, go onto your lower lash line. Now I'm going to go back in with the same brush I used for my brown and I'm going to blend, blend and blend. I also want to blend that lower lash line with that same brush. Optional step, you can use a black liner, but because my eyes are already small I need to open them up, so I'm using a flesh tone liner by Oriflame. This is in the shade Nude and I'm just going to apply this on my waterline. I'm going to tell tell you why I made you put on so much of powder underneath your eye. Even after having a creamy base on, patting the brush down, you might sometimes have fallouts. So if you do have fallouts and you have a base of powder earlier, you can just dust off this powder using a fan brush and all your fallouts will go away as well without leaving nasty marks or making your eye look untidy. Next, I'm going to take Revlon sand with the help of this detailer brush from Real Techniques, and I'm going to pop this in my inner corners again in order to make my eyes look a bit larger than they are. I'm also going to put this right underneath my highest point of the eyebrow to highlight. To finish off the eye look, I have my Coloressence HD mascara out. This is a really nice mascara for the price it's offered at, so I'm just going to give my eyelashes a couple of coats of this mascara. We're gonna finish our face now. So first of all, I'm going to highlight, and for that I'm using this Vivo Radiant Boost highlighter. This is the first time I've used it and I'm so disappointed because the packaging was so cheap that it sort of broke and I have highlighter all over, and I was just so disappointed because it's my hard-earned money that's going to waste. So I'm not going to use the brush because it's ineffective right now. I'm just going to take a little bit of highlighter onto my finger and I'm just going to apply it on my cheekbones. Apply a little bit on the bridge of my nose. So much expectations from this product, but the packaging, oh my god, I was just clicking it and the front part of it just up and I'm just like, crap. Then I'm gonna go again and with my concealer palette and I'm gonna use this shade right here to contour. More on contouring, I'll have my beginners video linked in the bottom bar where I explain more in depth about this step. This is more of a beginner smoky eye rather than the face, so not explaining that greatly. For my blush, I'm using Loreal Lab Blush True Matte in the shade Rosewood. It's a beautiful shade right here. So I'm going to use the brush that comes along with it. So I'm just going to swipe it across a few times, dusting off the excess and going on to the place where I don't have any highlighter or contour on. I have two options. The first one is a nude one. So for that I'm using this Makeup Revolution lipstick in the shade Divine. Beautiful shade. Gonna use that all over my lips. Is more bolder. For that I'm using the Star collection by Loreal in the shade Freida, or this is Pure Rouge. It's a beautiful shade. It's such a gorgeous red. Gorgeous. Wow. It's a gorgeous red. So I'm just gonna apply that. With that we finish this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, then please rate, comment and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. If you do try out this look, then don't forget to send it to me on my social media. All my social media links would be in the bottom bar, so make sure to check them out. I will also have an address there where you can send me letters and things, and I will see you guys on Monday. Till then, take care. Bye.